Cultural erosion isn't just about traditions fading away. It's what happens when outside forces overwhelm a culture's unique identity. Think of it like a river slowly reshaping its banks over time. Each wave carries away a small piece of what was there before. In today's hyper-connected world, this erosion happens faster than ever. Social media, tourism, and global commerce all act like powerful currents, constantly wearing down cultural distinctiveness. Technology spreads dominant cultures at unprecedented speeds, often at the expense of smaller local traditions. Languages disappear at alarming rates. We're losing one every 2 weeks. And with each language goes an entire worldview, a unique way of understanding our shared human experience. Wait, but why should you even care about cultural erosion? This matters because cultures aren't just tourist attractions or Instagram backdrops. They're living, breathing ecosystems of human knowledge and experience. When cultures erode, we lose unique perspectives on life that took generations to develop. It's like losing pages from humanity's instruction manual. Once they're gone, that wisdom disappears forever. Indigenous knowledge about local plants, animals, and ecosystems vanishes too. But here's where things get really interesting. Social media influencers now stand at the intersection of cultural exchange and exploitation. Some create content that paints foreign cultures with broad, inaccurate strokes. They reduce rich, complex societies to simplistic stereotypes that get views and clicks. When foreigners with large platforms misrepresent Filipino culture, for instance, they aren't just making misleading videos. They're actively reshaping how the world sees an entire nation and its people. The worst offenders leverage economic differences to create content that appears charitable, while actually commodifying local communities. This isn't cultural appreciation. It's cultural appropriation with a business model. Understanding cultural erosion is essential for recognizing the dynamic nature of different cultures and the importance of efforts toward preservation, adaptation, and resilience as a mindset. The role that social media influencers play in such dynamics, where they are painting a culture that is foreign to their own, has quite a massive impact on certain portions of society. These portions make up a niche ever evolving with the internet age and trends. You're either an ambassador to your people or to the country as a visitor. If it is about yourself, then maybe you are lonely and seeking friends or looking for a quick fix. Speaking of fix, this video will include a less-than-oriented case study on the roach behind the channel Sunshine Shoulders. If you're new to the channel, the roach is a former drug addict who changed his life around by leveraging money to entice and manipulate the laws and locals in the Philippines. He established what can be viewed as a plantation, where he invites the new man and woman with an interest to leverage money over valuable connections and meaningful memories to hop on a plane and head on over to the Philippines. Cultural erosion is a complex, multifaceted phenomenon whereby a culture undergoes significant changes or diminishes in vitality, often due to external pressures, in this case, a misguided interpretation, a one-sided narrative that fails to view certain aspects of life from the views of the leaders and forefathers who bled and shaped this nation into what it is today. Understanding cultural erosion is a vast topic, especially now, where the internet allows for the creation of communities that can erode cultural practices. The movement of people across borders can lead to cultural mixing, but can also result in the erosion of distinct cultural identities. Are Filipinos meant to make love every day, like the Roach so openly stated in one of his past videos, using the Philippines and its people to make such unnecessary claims? Love is a dynamic in any relationship and should be an individualistic approach between two people and not thrust onto a certain culture or society. Or perhaps the fact that the Roach has never washed the dishes or cooked in his entire time with Marilyn, a single disadvantaged mother whom he catfished into a relationship on a dating site. Cooking is an act of love. Doing the dishes is also an act of kindness, to say thank you for a delicious meal. But the Roach is basically a walking ATM machine who believes that Filipinos want you as a foreigner for your money and foreigners want the P. Really? What about the cultural values of meaningful bonds, relationships that inspire love, wisdom, and other values that have echoed throughout local society for over a century? Local traditions may be overshadowed by dominant online narratives, leading to a decline in regional custom. This generational shift can create a disconnect with cultural heritage. Traditional practices may be altered to meet tourist expectations, diluting their authenticity and original significance. Global networks often play a critical role in reflecting and shaping cultural identities, blending traditional elements with contemporary forms to create works that resonate across generations. The Roach is in fact rewriting culture and placing a toxic narrative on issues that hold real significance in line with the keyword Philippines that his channel thrives on. He has failed miserably in attempting to be a fitness guru and sex therapist. He runs an unregulated game show for commercial purposes on Facebook, where he gives $20 to locals and disguises it as a way of paying it forward, when in fact he uses the locals as content to earn on social media. As a former drug addict, the Roach has a street mindset where he views society as a jungle where each has to survive. There is no real, genuine love and affection or, some kind of intellectual and meaningful connection. It's all about how much he can make to afford a live-in maid with benefits. The Roach view of life is one that is eradicating society, commercializing communal bonds, and making a living from the life and day-to-day hardship of locals. Offering them quick and easy fixes in return for something, disguising it as a way of paying it forward. His plantation operation is that of a drug dealer, looking for the best quality and quantity to keep his buyers happy and high, where money is leveraged over real, authentic, genuine life friendships and relationships. Though rehabilitated, the Roach is still a pest and a menace to society as an influencer. He radiates a negative mindset, poaching a niche and putting his delusional and negative twist on it from a crackhead's perspective because that is what he knows. Period. That is his life experience, which is why he tends to resonate with poverty, where he can leverage money to entice, manipulate, and run things his way, without any love, compassion, or sympathy. He offers help in return for favors or fame, whether it be socially or on social media. That is the crackhead approach to quick and easy fixes in life that the Roach still embodies in spite of kicking the habit. He thinks it is okay for legal-age Filipinas with no life experience to be brainwashed and intoxicated into relationships based on monetary gain. This is a disgrace to any female regardless of race. Women want to be loved, cherished, heard, valued, and cared for, not exploited into transactional relationships where she is stripped off her heritage and culture for a better life. The Roach basically runs an organization that he calls a home. He even has a gate with the name Sunshine Shoulders written on the front. Much like plantations back in the day as we see in the movies, where the owners ruled by providing basic needs for those they owned. The roach is a classic example of cultural erosion in the Philippines, where his sick and negative mindset can be viewed as a grooming mechanism for old, sick and perverted Westerners and even young Filipinas and youth of this nation. Foreigners are not quick, easy fixes for young, inexperienced females, regardless of nationality. If you want to help, you can do so without any favors in return. The Philippines has a thriving economy with a population that can sustain the aspirations of anyone who is bold and committed to resilience and effort. In the same regard, local women are not live-in maids with benefits. They carry the aspirations and dreams of a nation through love and nurturing societies and communities that they belong to. The roach leverages poverty to his advantage through the exchange rate, counting every nickel, dime and cent to make sense of life in the Philippines as a drug dealer, giving out and receiving easy fixes in life. This is what makes him relatable, where his view of society is a very degrading, low-level view of a society built through heritage and culture. Filipinos don't want to be called poor. They want to be known as hard-working, in spite of the conditions that they live with. Filipinas don't want to make love every day. They want to be loved every day, through acts of kindness, compassion, and genuine love that cannot be felt with anything of value. This is all cultural erosion. The true value of the culture, its people, and societal values are being exploited and commercialized for personal gain, in someone looking for another easy fix. This channel will start a petition and submit it to NBI to clear the air surrounding Sunshine Shoulders' setup and commercialization of the locals through a game show on Facebook, including the roach approach to stating misguided and misleading facts and information about society and way of life as a foreign influencer using the Philippines as the target keyword of his online platforms. The petition link will be posted in the community section soon after a full report is compiled with substantiated facts. On that note, a quick disclaimer here that I don't dislike Calvin Roach. It's about safeguarding and protecting the youth of this nation. Also, the niche and how we as foreigners are privileged to be welcomed and taken in are shaping the local way of life regarding their beliefs, customs, and heritage as a society. The Philippines is a cultural society with their own values and ways of life. If you want to hate on them, do so. If you want to love them, go ahead. Don't sit on the fence portraying yourself as a savior while speaking ill of them. The roach in Filipino society is a marites, a gossiper who twists instances and scenarios into his own crackhead fabrication and justification. This negative behavior is common amongst those who spent their productive years caught up in drugs and substances.